So guys, an hour again, an hour and a half anyway, yeah. So, welcome guys to the proper video. I just accidentally hit stop. For today's video we're just doing a just under 2 hours video, so it should be 11 o'clock, but yeah. So hopefully with any luck we'll be alright. So how did I get into the hobby? Make sure you comment, likes, turn on post notifications, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and Twitch and TikTok. Links will be down below in the description. As I was previously saying, I am building up scenery and I am going to tell you a little story as well, how I got into the model areas and why am I building it up to the level I am. Well, it all comes with the story to how I got into it and how my fascination with trains comes as it has over the years. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's coming up. But yeah, there's going to be many different parts coming in. So first thing I'm going to mention now is how I got into the hobby. So basically how it happened, I don't know when it was, but well, I remember it was some point through the late 90s, I think. That's what my mum's told me. The first train set I ever had wasn't model trains, it was a plastic train set, and I basically had Thompson Tank Friends train set. And bear in mind I was quite little back then, I was very young, so you know, my mum wouldn't trust me with model trains because obviously they're electric, and obviously all I had is battery operated trains, and the amount of batteries I went through with being they were battery operated trains. They took a lot of batteries going through them, and one had steam puffing water vapour coming out of the top of it, but it was pretty cool in its time because obviously it meant, you know, you suddenly thought, oh, got a suddenly toy steam train just coming past you. But actually it's not really, but yeah, it's got kind of an effect to it, but you know it's not really real. It's all a model really. Model toy train on plastic rails. But yeah, it was all great fun growing up, and in some way I do miss it, but having model trains now, it's even better because it means I can design my layout how I want it to, and the idea is just building it up the way I want it to. It's really awesome because it means that everyone, you know, to everyone who wants to be in a hobbyist or, you know, be into the model areas market, means that you can. It is expensive, mind you. The model area market is expensive. It's like buying a brand new BMW X5 for the first time. It's like that, buying an expensive car and then hoping you got the money for the fuel, the service cover and all that. Yeah, the model trains are like the starting price. You get like a budget train set, like the Good Master set, which I started with back in 2006 or 2005, and that's when I first got into trains, by the way. Model trains, that is. Yeah, it becomes more and more expensive as time goes on because you buy more premium model trains, more track, more scenery, more premium coaches, and before you know it, you've got a proper train set stuff, proper miniature railway going on. Really, really quite cool. But yes, I know feelings for some people like, oh, it's really cool and everything, but the expense of it is quite pricey. That's why you do it is when you can afford it, and just when you can afford it, enjoy it. Because the model railway doesn't go away. Even when you have time away from it and say you feel like, I'm not enjoying this can I just come away from it and come back to it another time? You can, anytime you want. It's just, I mean, I felt that a few years back now. I actually felt like I just didn't want to be a part of it because I didn't get anywhere with it. It's just, basically at the end of the day, I just feel like I was, just playing trains does not feel like I improved anything. But in the end I did, the following year after, 2016, 2015, I just started to build some ideas and started putting things together. I mean, starting with the scenery, I did start to put things together back in 2016. I don't think it was until quite late though, when I started doing that. And I have to admit, it was scratching my head thinking to get things, to how to design everything and trying to fit things in at the right points of the layout where I want them. But it wasn't just that. I thought, you know, just the idea of people just, you know, sitting there thinking them to themselves like, you know, got it good, but I want to improve it. Well, you can. It's not that difficult really. When you got some money spare, just go out and buy some locos, new Class 58 Deltic or Class 55, or even Class 170 by Batman. Things like locos like that are the Class 170 does have its perks. I know a lot of people seem to think, well, it has its up points, but yes, I understand where some people are coming from with the 170 motor with big centre mounted motor in the main centre carriage, and then you're just pushing the two training cars either side of it. I mean, Batman, with that one, they should have worked with, because one training car, put it on one end axle and then drive the rest of the wheels from that. Because from a small simple motor, and it has the wiring for the lights and the cabs, and yeah. Because obviously the 170 does light up at both directions. It just has to be dark enough to see them. Yeah, so, you know. It does have working lights on the Class 170, but they're very dim during the day, but you can see them quite well at night. Even Will's seen that. It lights up really well during the night, but during the day, you hardly ever can see them. But, yeah. How come I'm pushing the hillside closer to the fence? Because I'm going to have a new entrance here instead of that old one there with the hole in, which is going to be used for something else. So I left it there. But anyway, so who got me into Zombie? My mum did. She got me in the idea. But ever since I've grown up, having trains and been to train platforms in real life, I basically fall in love with model trains and in the sense of hobby, isn't that? But yes, and ever since then I just want to be a train driver, but obviously I couldn't, because obviously with my brain tumour issues I had as a kid, I couldn't, you know, they weren't able to risk me getting into the behind the controls of a locomotive. Anything on the steam train, diesels especially, because the powers they kick out. If something goes wrong, then they're reliable for basically the mess or someone else's problems, and they get told off for it, which is crazy because, you know, things like that, it can't be helped. If it happens, it happens for real work. I mean, that's really unfortunate, but because my mum and sister, as I said before, seen me having it plenty of times before when I was growing up, but and suddenly one jumps upon me this year. It's just insane, but it is what it is. I got kind of used to it over the years though. It wasn't unexpected to have. This is how hot the glue gun is. It's basically melting the I'm not even doing much to it. It's just basically That noise is coming from the glue gun, even though I haven't used it yet. It's that hot now. It basically touching it on cold water makes it have been cooking it. And I like this glue gun because obviously it does a lot of good effects. I mean, you can hide the blobs as well, which is what I tend to do. So yeah, this is going to be filmed for about an hour and 50 minutes, so it shouldn't be too long. But yeah, I'll go with the other one after I film this one. Pretty cool though. Pretty damn cool. I am going to change the setting of the yard in a few minutes because obviously I am going to move it around to the section of the yard's going to be, well, the scrapyard for the cars are going to be moved, well, the road's going to be moved, and then a big section will be used for the part of the road as well, just stationed, and maybe a walk near the scrapyard, so it's going to the top of the hillside down, and then some of it will be very close to the fiddle yard with all the logos and the wagons and coaches and all that. So that will be over there. Yeah, so a lot of stuff is going to be happening between now and Christmas with scenery, and hopefully during Christmas time, or I'm going to test some of my older locos on this track during the time when I'm not filming for a long period of time and then January I'm going to try my best to try to hold off not to opening new locos until I come back. Obviously I'll buy everything well before that, but because obviously I've got birthdays coming up after Christmas, which is next month, January, and 2021's, to be honest, very soon. But yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of different stuff going on for the track and the scenery and everything else going around it. It's all going to be cool fun, but it's also going to be quite knackering, I think. But yeah, it's all going to be fun at the same time, and that's what matters. You're not having fun, there's something wrong you're doing in your life. So yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff. I think I got the hillside perfectly spot on where it is, and at the moment working with the track itself between the lines. I'm going to take the track out in the time to put scenery down and laying it out. No, I'm not going to do that, but I am working on something else around that. Does what I'm doing. I know some people get bored of me talking a lot, but when I'm doing things like this, I do because it gives you some steps to follow when you're watching a video. So I will be moving the camera around in a minute so you can see some shots of what I've just been doing. Here we go, got one part done, just way all around there. And obviously the scrapyard is starting to put in place. This is the signal box which will be put in place at some point. I don't know where to put it, mind you, yet.